Thank you very much. I drove most of the family nuts rehearsing that at home. And it got very noisy and very loud, but it was worth it. I think that, I guess that would be it. The lady who was in the audience today didn't want me to embarrass her. But the daughter told me that she was having her birthday. And it was an easy name, Charlotte Carter. And we wish you the very best. And to you I sing, M is for the million things you gave me. O is for the other stuff we had. T is for the tears I shed a lot. And H is for the happiness I'm glad. Put them all together, they spell moth. Well, it does. I think that the most fun that I have had on the whole tour was when I opened the floor to a Q&A session. Now, the interesting thing about a Q&A session is that you never know what they're going to come up with. Your audience will come up with stuff you couldn't really believe. Like the first time I did it, a guy yelled out, "Hey Jerry, how'd you get your start?" I said, "My father jumped on my mother." I don't know anything after that. Now, we've got a spotlight here and the microphone there, and we've got a spotlight there and the microphone there. So whoever, are you getting up to leave? You have to go to the men's room? What is it? You go to the microphone? Okay. And I repeat, the most wonderful part about this is that your audience is the encyclopedia. The audience has all the stuff going for them. I have to wait to hear what it is. Okay, the young lady over there, yes ma'am?
Hi, Mr. Lewis.
I can't hear you, honey.
Hi, Mr. Lewis.
Why are you yelling?
I'm sorry. I'm so excited to see you. I've waited my whole life to see you.
What?
I've waited my whole life to see you.
You've been here in this place your whole life?
Yeah.
Who the hell was burping you?
I'm truly honored to meet you and see you from the bottom of my heart. Seriously. I'm overwhelmed. I mean, I am. But
Will you get on with it?
Sorry. My question for you, with all the comedic work you've done, with all the philanthropy that you've done, what would you consider to be your greatest accomplishment?
What? Whatever you said is difficult to hear, so I didn't really hear the look at this, it looks like the Nuremberg trial, for Christ's sake. But I appreciate your coming up and starting it off.
Yeah, my question is...
Thank you for coming.
You're filling me on. Oh no, what would you consider to be your greatest accomplishment?
What was my greatest accomplishment?
And all that you've done.
I had 6 sons. It was my pleasure. Thank you, honey. It was nice to meet you. Yes, we have a gentleman there. Yes, sir.
Jerry, you have starred with a lot of beautiful actresses in your career. I'm wondering if you wish you'd ever done a nude scene.
I really didn't hear you.
You wish you'd ever, in your movie career, that you'd ever done a nude scene.
Are you Chinese? I really did not hear you, and that's even, you're getting too close to the microphone.
Jerry, do you wish you had never done a nude scene in your movie career?
Did you hear him? Did you hear him? Oh, what the hell is he saying? All together. thank you for coming up, sir. I appreciate it very much. Yes, we have a gentleman there.
Hi, Jerry. Thanks for coming there.
Back off a little bit.
Who drew that drawing of you up there?
The what?
That drawing of you.
Yeah.
Did you draw that?
Who is it? That was drawn by a mailroom boy at NBC in 1952. He did one of Dean, he did one of myself, and I offered him $5,000 at the time to give me the right to use it. He took the money and opened a public relations agency in Chicago. And today he's one of the biggest advertisers and an agency anywhere in the world. A very bright young artist. Very nice.
Thank you, Jerry.
Okay, yes, sir.
Hi, I'm privileged to meet the king of comedy.
What?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I'm privileged to meet the king of comedy.
Yeah.
That's you. And I just wanted to ask, how was it to work with Colonel Sanders? You remember that?
Do I remember? I ate chicken for a month. He was a wonderful man, and he took direction like a champ. It was wonderful fun. Thank you. Yes, sir.
Yes, Jerry, I was wondering. I was always sorry that you never got a chance to do what Charlie Chaplin did in Limelight in '52 when he looked back at his career and got to make that film. Did you by any chance ever have a Limelight-like production in your mind and to put into development possibly? Because I always thought that you had one going, that you should have made your Limelight, and we never got to see it.
Can you talk a little slower?
You know Charlie Chaplin's film Limelight, with the one where Charlie looks back at his life and the retrospective of his career.
You're telling me that Charlie Chaplin was in Limelight? Really?
Well, there was a movie, I don't know if you're teasing me, he made a film. I just wondered if you ever made a film where he went back and looked at his career, going back to the early days, and I thought maybe you had thought about putting one into development.
Not similar, no.
No.
But I've stolen some great stuff from Charlie Chaplin.
I know.
And we were good friends. That's the most important thing.
And then, really, one other quick question.
Who said you didn't have a second question? What the hell are you, some kind of what is it?
Thank you, Jerry. When you were first-time director, you picked a first-time DP, Wallace Kelly. Now, I know he did a lot of second-unit work on the Wallace productions. I thought it was so bold of you, as a first-time director, to pick a first-time DP. I wanted to know, when you made that decision, was it difficult?
It was difficult, but it had to be. And very often, we're going to face a situation that may not appear to be right at that moment. But if you trust it and you move it along in time, it usually works out very well.
Well, he did all your films, so you must have been happy with his work, but it was
Thank you.
very, very, very bold decision.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate you coming up. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Yes.
This is our fourth time. Can you hear me good?
I can't hear you, honey.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. This is the fourth time the powers that be have allowed years of my life's past to cross. Start to count from this one going back chronically. The last one was 21 and a half years ago in San Diego at the Circuit City by the Bay. I don't know if you remember, it was called the Potty Training Iguanas. The time before that was in 1961, the drug driver almost wiped out my whole family. And I'm one of the children you came to visit in the Lost
in another one.
There was one more time you came to see me in the hospital. Was it either 58 or 59? And I was in a coma from cancer, from Hodgkin's disease. And your visits gave me the strength to fight and beat the cancers.
Thank you. I'm very glad. Thank you.
Paralyzed. And I thank you from the bottom of my heart for touching my life.
Thank you. Okay, I'm glad you're okay. Yes. Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Lewis, it's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Tomorrow's my 51st birthday, and it's okay. And I want you to know that it's
What, tomorrow's your birthday?
my 51st birthday.
51st. You look every day of it.
I know. But for over 40 years, I have been a fan of yours. I remember kissing the television when you were on because you made me smile. I had a very hard life as a child. You brought such joy to me. When I was 44, I gave birth to my one and only. She's 7.
Were you pregnant?
Yeah, like conception. You know, a Jewish girl like me, I kept waiting for 3 wise men coming from the east, but they never showed up. I'm a little nervous, so forgive me. I just want you to know that my 7-year-old knows who you are, was too tired at the fair to come with me. But she is a generation far beyond, and I wonder how you feel in regards to knowing that generations like we know Charlie Chaplin today, and generations will continue to know your brilliance, and how does that make you feel?
It's one of the greatest feelings in the world to know that I have the distinction, I should say, the absolute distinction of being able to tell an audience, I know when you all first watched me, you were 8, 9, 11, 14, not a lot more than that, but this whole audience looked at my work and accepted it at those young ages, and now they come to see my show with a couple of their children. So we're keeping it pretty well covered, and I'm very proud of that. I'm very happy with that. Yes, ma'am.
Gary, I'm very honored to meet you. I'm a professional clown and children's entertainer, and I've been holding these for 4 hours, so I was hoping I could give them to you. Plus, I have a question. The Day the Clown Cried, the movie,
Yeah.
what were your thoughts on that movie? Since I'm a clown, I would like to hear your thoughts on that movie.
Well, the movie was very, very dramatic. It was very difficult to make. I was playing a German clown who took off on Hitler. And there were Gestapo people that heard him, and they arrested him. They put him in a concentration camp, and they didn't know what to do with him. So they put him in charge of all the children in the concentration camp. And he was going to help move them into the ovens. It was very, very tough to make. But the clown showed his true colors by going in with the children. So the movie, which has never been seen, that is my election. I can't show the movie because I think it wasn't good work on my part. I directed it, I wrote it, and it was not good work. Therefore, it will never be seen, ever. But it was fun making it. And how much fun can you have? You're going to kill a bunch of children. But if it helped anybody, and it did, all of these children I used, I had 80 children from 6 through 9. And they were incredible. And I went to Stockholm, Sweden, where we shot it, and I had a dinner party for all of the children who brought all of their children. It was a dinner party for 475 people. And I picked up the tab. You can't get up to me, honey.
Can I give it to him?
Yeah, you give it to an usher or a security guard, or give it to some drunken woman laying around in the yard. Okay, yes, ma'am.